It is no secret that I have complained many times before about my lack of self-control when it comes to buying books. And I thought, what the heck? Let's not just drive that point home completely by showing all the books that I bought in a single day. This is one day's haul. Last Saturday or Sunday, I went to like 2 or 3 different thrift stores and bought all these books. And I'm not even sorry because I found some good ones. We're going to start with a book of poetry. This is Chasers of the Light. This poet I actually do know through Instagram. I used to follow him back when I used Instagram. I since have not. I don't like social media very much, which is kind of ironic since I do have a YouTube channel. In the last several years, I have kind of drifted away from Instagram poets. I am grateful for them for kind of renewing that love of poetry in me, but I feel like I've gone back to a lot of the originals that I like a lot more. I do remember liking this guy, so hopefully that is still the case. You guys know I do collect different copies of certain books. This is, I believe, an arc of, an arc of many waters. Because it says, it says on the front, uncorrected advanced proof, but it also has no page numbers. So you see the person going through it, numbered all the pages. And I don't think they got very far because in the first, I think they got like 1 chapter through because they would do little marks where, they would show like the incorrect spelling or a missing letter or something like that, which I just kind of love. So there's that one. I also found another one of her books, A Swiftly Tilting Planet, that is absolutely freaking gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that cover. I love it so much. I think this is actually a first edition as well. At least it says first printing. Is that the same as first edition? I don't know. I feel like that can get really confusing. But I think it's beautiful. So these next 2 have the same author. We've got A Soul of Ash and Blood, as well as A Fire in the Flesh. I do have 2 other works by this author. So, but these are from 2 different series, I guess. Fire and Ash novel and then Flesh and Fire novel. What? I don't know where these go in those series, but now I've got these 2. Next we have Conviction. From the little I've read about this, it seems to be about a woman who's going through a really bad breakup, either in her, I think it's her marriage, and she becomes entangled in this podcast that's trying to solve, I don't know if it's the murder or the disappearance of someone that she used to know, which is bringing me Sadie vibes. I don't think it's going to be quite like that, but we're gonna see. Next we have Demon Copperhead. This book has been absolutely everywhere. I think it won the Pulitzer as well as the, is it the National Book Award or the Women's Prize in Fiction? One of those as well. I assumed this was a fantasy novel due to the title, and it's not. At least I don't think it is, but it still sounds really good. I want to read it, and now I have it. Next book I have been wanting to read for a while, and that is Small Favors. I know people's opinions on this book tend to be very polarizing, and I've heard most describe it as bizarre and weird, which I absolutely love weird, bizarre books, so I'm really looking forward to it. Next we have As a Man Thinketh. This is a book about the power of thought. Not very long. Out Backward. I've never heard about this, but I'm not gonna lie, this little snip on the front completely caught my attention. Ross Raisin's story of how a disturbed but basically well-intentioned rural youngster, rural, I can't say that word very well, turns into a malevolent sociopath is both chilling in its effect and convincing in its execution. So it's about the friendship between a young girl and I guess a sociopathic guy, and there's a bad turn at the end. I can guess what happens, but we'll have to read it to see if it's true. And I love the little mushrooms. Next, I have Pat Barker. This is The Eye in the Door. I absolutely love the 2 Pat Barker novels I've read, and this is the 2nd book in a series. I do have the 1st book in the series, so now I have this one as well. Awesome. Next, we have the Magnolia Palace. This book is set in, I think it's like 1920, and centers around the Spanish flu epidemic. I don't think I've ever read a book about that, so gonna learn something. A Long Way Home. This was nominated for the Booker Prize, and I bought it because of that. It's also set in 1914 Dublin. Someone from Dublin, but I don't know where he goes to. Oh, he becomes involved in the war. Okay. Name All the Animals. I do have one of Alison Smith's other books. This was, I think, her debut. How to Be Both. I think that's the book I have of hers, and I think that one was nominated for something. Next we have We Ride Upon Sticks. I can't tell if this is supposed to be like a fantasy book or not, because it follows the descendants of the people from the witch trials as they're playing some sport. I don't know. Next we have The Evening Road, set in 1930s Indiana. I did find a copy of Tokyo Ghoul. This is number three. Pergatory. I am trying to collect the editions of Barnes & Noble, so whenever I see one I pick it up. I don't currently have this one. Next we have Augusta Gone. This is a memoir that sounds really good, and it's about a mother who finds out her daughter is, I don't know if it's involved with self-harm and she's addicted to drugs, and I think it's kind of both of them coming to terms with her mental illness and the journey, hopefully, to recovery, but I'm not sure, so that's that one. Another memoir, A Tokyo Romance. What's this one about? Someone arrives in Tokyo in 1975. I love books about people moving to other countries and kind of the culture shock and that new experience and that kind of weird freedom that comes with it. So, Campfire Stories. This one I actually might give as a gift. My parents are trying to hit all the national parks. They go there for hikes and stuff, so this is Tales from America's National Park. I found another Terry Pratchett book. This one is Jingo. However, I should have looked closer because this is like the 21st book in the Discworld series. If I knew that, if I had looked as I was supposed to, I might not have bought it because I do not have the first 20. I have not even read book 1 in the Discworld series, so that might have been a mistake. Next we have a biography about Virginia Woolf. This is, I think, specifically focusing on a lot of the people who inspired her writing and the social group that she had at the time. I think it's called the Bloomsbury Group. Supposedly it's famous. I don't know what for. I guess I will find out. Next we have this behemoth of a monster. This is a history on ancient Rome. It's beautiful. Mary Beard is supposed to be really good. I know she's written some other books. Lots of information. I might have to kind of read this one in small pieces. Next we have Arsenic and Adobo. This is about, I think, a woman who is running a restaurant. Her ex-husband or ex-boyfriend comes to eat there. His food's poisoned. She's the main suspect. And last but not least, we have The Last Party. This is also a murder mystery and is about a group of people having a party, New Year's Eve. In the morning, I think the host turns up dead, like floating in the lake, and they have to figure out who killed him. Good. That's it. Those are all the books. Oh my gosh. I bought all those books in one day. Oh, that's a lot. It's okay. It's okay. I've got another unhaul coming up, so it's perfectly fine. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me for that. Let me know if you guys have read any of these, which ones you're looking forward to me reading the most. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye.